Japan is such a culturally and historically significant country. Beautiful landscapes juxtaposed with dense cities, unique cultural mores, and a people who welcome outsiders with open arms make Japan a fascinating place to visit. I've never been myself, and I've been told that it's not professional to mention all the anime I've watched and Japanese video games I've played. So, I've eaten a lot of sushi? And I took Japanese my freshman year of college. Don't fret. If you're like me and can't tell the difference between do itashimashite and hajimemashite, that's alright. Doing business in Japan doesn't require you to be an expert in the language or culture to be successful. What you do need, however, is a solid plan. While Japan is the third largest economy in the world and a hub for business and innovation in Asia, a complex bureaucracy, convoluted tax structure, and rigid HR law make the land of the rising sun a tough place to establish. Finding the right partner to guide your Japanese venture is crucial. Here's a little more information about doing business in Japan. Employment in Japan is relatively expensive, with the total cost of employing someone being around 25% of their salary. Certain rules must be followed to the letter. For instance, if your company has more than 10 employees in Japan, you must create work rules for the office, which include terms that apply to all employees. This has to be submitted to a representative for a majority of the employees and also the local government. Japan also has 5 different types of social programs that companies have to register for: health insurance, pension, nursing care for employees over 40, workman's compensation, and employment insurance. A legal entity is required to directly hire and pay employees in Japan. This can take a long time to set up, typically around 15 to 16 weeks. Aside from the registrations I previously mentioned, companies doing business in Japan will also need a local bank account, business licenses, and national and local registrations. When establishing a presence in Japan, it's best to plan ahead and get started early. Written employment contracts are required in Japan, and while they form the basis of the working relationship, the government is heavily involved in protecting workers. The employment contract is typically fairly simple and is complemented by the work rules the company has in place. And any differences between the employment contract, the work rules, and employment law are settled by what most favors the employee. Employee terminations in Japan are notoriously difficult, and careful planning is required to make sure your company doesn't end up on the wrong end of legal action. Grounds for termination can be written into employment contracts and work rules, but can be overruled by a court if they're deemed too harsh. Severance packages are a popular way of getting employees to agree to a termination or managing a reduction in force. For quick market entry, PEO is an option for Japan. This limits the benefits you can offer to employees, and compliance is largely dependent on the situation, so it's best to work with an advisor who can help design a solution for your company's specific circumstances. If this all seems like a lot, I have good news. UnaTerra can help you every step of the way. We'll work with you to design a solution that meets your needs in country, whether it be establishing a legal entity, hiring through a PEO, or just making a payroll registration. We run payroll, act as your international controller for your entities, and take care of your corporate and payroll compliance so you can focus on what matters most, your business. Call me, Andrew Lang, or any of our sales staff to get the conversation going today. We look forward to helping you succeed on the international stage.